number. If not expected to get a big number, but I believe the number will increase. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Emias Tarafa. You can believe some of you have met. I'm a pharmacist and I'm a pharmacologist, and I'm technical lead and also founder of AGLS, Axunia Global Learning Solution, which is an accredited continuous professional development provider here in Kenya, and also in the consultancy field. It's a great pleasure for me today to host this amazing webinar. As you know, with AGLS, we've quite a number of short course training programs. Not only that, we also do have fellowship program, which we started early this mid of this year. That was on computational research. And we have finished phase 1 of that research with an amazing fellowship program for especially postgraduate students and early career researchers, basically, which is on computational or computer-based drug discovery. The other initiative which I had the last 2-3 years and we've been in discussion with quite a number of fellows was the area of sport pharmacy. I believe in the next year we'll have a big conversation and a number of webinar series, a number of structured trainings, and even maybe a dedicated fellowship program for those enthusiast ones on this big space of sport pharmacy. I remember 2023 when we organized the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya's international conference that was held in Mombasa. I was lucky to be part of, I was so privileged to be part of the organizing committee, and since I was so passionate, I invited one amazing, not two, sport pharmacists from Norway, and they managed to do a presentation in a round table on that conference, and I believe that has also sparked quite a number of interest among the young pharmacists, among the university students on sport pharmacy. So also I'm also privileged in being part of the education committee of the US Sport Pharmacy Group, where we do discuss a number of educational initiatives for pharmacists in this big area. So we are starting this journey today. I know it's a holiday season. I know many of you are in between celebrating your Christmas and also listening this webinar. But let me start by saying Merry Christmas wherever you are and Happy New Year. Maybe you can share the flowers to your colleagues who are joining here in this session. And maybe I would also request each one of you to drop your names in the chat and also wish Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to your fellow colleagues who are here. I believe this will be a big network. We'll have quite a number of webinars in the new year. On January 23rd, again, we have another webinar by a very interesting colleague of mine, whom I told you earlier, who came into Mombasa, Dr. Astrid. She will be talking on 23rd of January. I believe we'll also be sharing that poster. So after that, we'll see how this conversation and interest will build, and then we'll have more structured training and also a fellowship program. As I shared this vision to the US Sport Pharmacy Group, quite a number of colleagues showed interest to volunteer to come and train. Of them is our today's speaker, is among those who showed the first interest. That is Dr. Abdelmonaim Elsayed, and it's a great pleasure, Dr. Abdelmonaim, for you being here with us in the middle of this vacation season. Abdelmonaim is a certified sport pharmacist. Later on, he will tell us what that certified sport pharmacist means. I believe you better hear it from the horse mouse. He is an IOC certified. Also, interestingly, he's a 5-dan certified judo coach. When I was young, I had dreamed to be in that space. Maybe you can also touch a bit of what you do in that judo space. And also, he's also a certified crash instructor. And interestingly, he's also a creator and owner of Judo Treatment, Judo RX. I believe that is his company. I know he will tell us a lot about himself, and specifically, today's session is where he will be taking us through and on history and evolution of sport pharmacy. As you have seen when we shared the poster, that is the webinar's title, where we'll try to start by looking at where does this sport pharmacy start from? How is it evolving? Do pharmacists really have a role in this sport pharmacy and sport medicine space? That will be his talk today. I know he has also volunteered to in case if we don't have quite a number of attendees, I know we'll have him again in the new year in January, maybe by mid-January or in February, and he'll be part of us. So without much further ado, I will hand over the session to him. Colleagues, please welcome Abdelmonaim. I don't know how we welcome him, but in some of our trainings, we have a tradition to welcome him with sharing his flowers. Abdelmonaim, welcome. The floor is yours now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's webinar before the holiday, and I hope that this will be not a regular presentation. It will be just like a time travel movie. We will just have fun together. We don't need to be stressed or feeling that we need to gather information, because all of this information are available for public and you can access it anytime. First of all, I want to thank this great welcome from Dr. Ermias, and I really appreciate the efforts that he's doing in spreading the knowledge, and specifically for sports pharmacy. The learning platform, the Axomia, is very nice platform, and it's gathering attention from many pharmacists, and I hope that it will be a torchbearer for sports pharmacy for the next year. So this is a time machine for the sports pharmacy. So let's take the ride. I'm your captain for today. Are you ready? Okay. So first, I want to disclose that I have no financial relationship with regards for this presentation. And as I said, all of the information are available for public with reference support. As you know, I am an old guy, so I am not using the AI a lot. And this presentation was not prepared by AI. Only I use a time machine picture and the ancient doping infographics generated by the AI. So this is me. And my accreditations, as Dr. Ermias introduced me. I'm also a medication safety certified from the SHP and certified sterile compounding pharmacist from the Board of Pharmacy Specialty. And this is my latest competencies. I tried my ever best, any free course, I am enrolling myself in it, so I will prepare myself for this journey. Since 2022, I'm starting to get access about all of the anti-doping and sports pharmacy knowledge. And I want to give you a brief history why I'm here today, because actually I started judo at 1984. I was 3.5 years old, July, summer of 1984. And after that, when I'm 11 years old, I start to reach the perception of why I'm doing that, why I'm doing judo. And actually, I was not eligible to join the pharmacy school. I was mainly going for the military. I was in the national team, and I was the gold medalist of my weight category under 90 kg. And actually, this is the one which let me get a higher GPA, which is added to my total GPA, and I was eligible to join the School of Pharmacy. Later on, when I graduated from Alexander University, 2003, 2003, I started to do interventions with my colleagues, because I was for 5 years, I was in the national team, and all my colleagues are asking me as a pharmacist for anything they are taking, medication, supplements, whatever, they are asking me. So I started the interventions, and I don't know that there is a sports pharmacy, actually. Later on, when I reallocated to Saudi Arabia in 2006, I started to implement what I have been learning all over this past 8 years or 9 years since starting the School of Pharmacy till I started my profession in Saudi Arabia. I started to implement this and created a judo team in the hospital community. And in 2014, I have a great outcome. I have 3 national judo team player for Saudi Arabia, and also I have been mentoring a lot of judokas in the field. After that, I didn't stop learning. I keep on learning, but for judo, and keep on attending events and sharing my knowledge all over. And lately, at 2023, after 20 years of my graduation, I have been recognized from the International Judo Federation Academy as a certified coach, and from the International Olympic Committee in drugs in sports. So what will be happening in 2026? We don't know. Let's see. So the things that makes me passionate about teaching and learning and engaging in all of this stuff, because I am adopting the judo philosophy. We have 2 philosophies in judo, and if there is any Japanese attending, I don't know, maybe there is no Japanese attending this webinar, but we have 2 philosophies in judo, 2 principles for the philosophy, which is the Siroko Zinyu, which is the optimal use of energy, and Jitaki Ue, which is the mutual welfare. So this is all of the things that you are doing in life is focusing on these 2 principles. If you absorb it well, you can do many things. And this is our great grandmaster, Shihan. Shihan is the grandmaster. Okay, this is the founder of judo. He was born at 1860 and died 1934, and he founded the Kodokan Judo Institute at 1882. And this slogan is actually written all over Japan, which is nothing under the sun is greater than education. By educating one person and sending him into the society of his generation, we make a contribution extending 100 generations to come. So education is non-stop process. It's going and going and going, and we will not stop learning till the end of life. And here is the structure of the International Judo Federation Academy, so you can know how the things is happening. Judo is the only sport which have this structured academy. We have 3 levels from the accreditation, from level 1, and then level 2, the diploma, then the European bachelor degree, then the master thesis, and then the PhD for University of Hertfordshire, UK. So all of this let us prepare for the trip, because we need to have a proper intervention in anything, because if we have the proper intervention at the right time, it will be priceless. You don't know how it will work. So sports pharmacy is not only about doping. It's matter of athlete safety. This is the broad idea of the sports pharmacy. So I put myself in your shoe, and I asked myself the questions which you will ask. What will be the questions? First of all is the LTAD. What is the LTAD? It is the long-term athletic development. If we want to be a sports pharmacist, we need to know how the athletes are growing up. since the start till the end. Second question, what about the pharmacist statistics and the sports statistics? Why we are doing all of that? We need to know the numbers. Third question, when does the drugs in sports term started and how it started? And then the sports pharmacy term, when it was started, and the sports pharmacists who are pioneering our profession. And the sixth question, the sports pharmacist interventions, why it's happening and what is the kind of it and who is doing it and where. And then the last question I asked, if I am a new pharmacist and I want to know how I will go for this profession, how I will start. So let's go for the first one, the long-term athletic development. It's 7 levels. It started with the active starts from 0 to 6 years, then teaching the fundamentals from 6 to 8 years for the females. I'm focusing on the females, okay? And learn to train from 8 to 12 years, and then train to train from 11 to 15 years for the females, train to compete from 15 to 21 years, train to win above 18 years for females and for males for above 19 years, and then active for life, which can be at any age. It's not about being old or young. You can be active for life, but by the proper intervention and the proper exercise prescription. So who invented and developed this long-term athletic development is the Canadian scientist Stephen Bailey in 1990s. It was 3 phases, and then it was developed to 7 stages. It's very crucial for the proper interventions in any kind of discipline. So what about the pharmacists? This is the latest statistics for the pharmacists worldwide. We have 5.5 million total count of pharmacists, which is representing 9.6 pharmacists per 10,000 population, which means 96 pharmacists per 100,000. So the FIP, the International Pharmaceutical Federation, or the Fédération Internationale de Pharmaceutique, this in French language, I hope I pronounce it well, making the target investment in education. The education is more important and top priority for the FIP. So let us go for the certified pharmacist. It's very strange that when you go to the boards of pharmacy specialty, you will find that we have 15 different specialties of a total count of 58,000 pharmacists certified, board certified, which is 1% of the total count. So that means we have a huge gap. And in all of this 58,000, we have half of them in the pharmacotherapy certified. So what about the sports pharmacy? Where is it? So I go to the international sports statistics and I use this AI tool. So you can get this statistics by the AI tool. You have the federation, you have 42 recognized federation, you have about 200 in the FIFA 211 national association, you have 206 national Olympic committees, and the clubs, it's a very big market size. And of course, in USA, there is the NCAA, which have about 500,000 students. So I want you now to do a very quick search by asking your AI agent, how many sports pharmacists are out there? And if there is any position titled sports pharmacist, could you please do it? Of course, I cannot read the comments because I am full screen. So Dr. Hermes can tell me if anybody put in the comment, what did they find?
No comment. I'm just reading. Let's continue. I haven't seen any comment up to now.
Okay, so Just make this, put this question in the AI agent and see what is what will come to you. Okay, so I go further for the international athletic statistics for the world athletics, which is very surprising actually. We have per week, we have about 10,000 competition. Okay, and in a given week, there are more than 70,000 athletes, ranging from elite to club level. And from 1st of January, there will be a change in the ranking criteria, which will be about 30% lowered, which will impact the performance. And this will be happening because of this changing. Of course, when you have greater emphasis on performance quality and reduce the advantage of high placement alone, increase the importance of competition level and encouragement of consistency across events, and there is impact on qualification standards and potential redistribution of ranking, this will get the athletes under more stress, and they need to be more effective. And here the intervention is coming. Okay, now let's fly back in time. Please fasten your seat belts. How the doping in sports in ancient times. This article by Articoli Italia for Andrea Cotti. This one is started mentioning that there is doping since 3000 BC. And then in the Olympic Games, there was another doping, which is the power beverages, which include activating active ingredient and water enriched with marine salts, seeds, and other additives. And in the 6th century, also BC, of course, we are downgrading now, the red wine mixed with stimulants. In the 5th century and 4th century, before pre-Hippocrates era, the sesame seeds and the magic potions. In the 4th century, there was also the poppy capsules, the cinnamon, and there is other stimulants used. In the 3rd century before BC, there was the mushrooms and the red analgesics, which is infused with the bread to reduce pain. And Roman Empire, the gladiators was using stimulants and mascaria and other fungi. And of course, there is also animal doping. There is another article, which is the ancient Olympic have drug doping or not. Of course, there was doping, and they are using a lot of ancient enhancers in their routine, like the dried figs, animal testicles, because of the testosterone, of course, and many other more. So the doping is very ancient and very old. So they want to enhance their performance. So they are using a lot of things, which is by practice and by experiment, they are finding it enhancing their performance. So this book, I found it in the Olympic Museum about the Olympic judo history and techniques. And surprisingly, I found that there is a part to Chinese medicine and herbal pharmacology. This part is really not about doping. It's about the pharmacology and how the effects of the herbal Chinese herbs affecting the performance. So it's not doping, it's pharmacology. So when was the drugs in sport term started and how? First, it was a progression since 1860, the Vin Mariani wine, and then we have a huge incident for the Tom Hicks using the strychnine, and we have the first banned stimulant in 1928. Later on, the first beast come, which is anabolic steroids. Later, the decision have been done to make the International Olympic Committee Medical Commission. Latest on, there is the first test of anabolic steroids After that, there is a scandal of the Festina affair and using erythropoietin. After this scandal, there is a robust action and the WADA have been established. Another scandal happened in 2013. Of course, all of us know about the Lance Armstrong history and the admission of taking multiple performance-enhancing drugs. So this is a quick for the timeline. As we said, the first adverse PED, you see the advertising is very, very, very catchy. Do you need a tonic? Then Mariani will give it to you. Of course, cocaine with wine, wake up call. Then the first reported incident, the Tom Hicks, American Marathon in 1904 Olympics, and his condition was very bad because he took strychnine sulfate at the end of the race, and he will be suffering from a huge critical health effects, which is really resembling winning by any price. Even I'm taking a rat poison. So as we said that ancient doping was for the animals, also there is in the 1910s was a horse saliva. In the horse saliva they detected alkaloids. So this one is not only in the ancient, also in the 20th century. The first ban in the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam, there was the first ban for the stimulants. And then we have the first beast in 1954 for the androgenic anabolic steroids. Of course, Dr. John Bosley Ziegler is in the US team. He was the one who experimented that, and he experimented it on himself. And then actually there is a great hormonal imbalances and negatively affects the body. Of course, all of us know about the Danabol, which is used by most of the bodybuilders. And it was not promoted as an anabolic for healthy subjects, but it's for treatment for the cachectic patients. The stimulant incident, which has happened in 1960, it was a death of Nude Enmark. This death was really very, it's a sentinel event when used the peripheral acting vasodilator Ronicol. The Tommy Simpson's British cyclist in 1967, also in Tour de France, used the mix of amphetamines, alcohols, and of course the heat and the climbing. All of these are cofactors affecting the sentinel event. Subsequent decision in 1966, the Cycling, Soccer, and Track Field International Federation began testing stimulants, and also in France, then in whole Europe. All of these incidents led the robust decision happened by the International Olympic Committee and forming the medical commission. Of course, there was a sub-commission on the biochemistry and doping in sport. The first testing for anabolic steroids was 1967. 275 athletes tested, and imagine what, only 8 tested positive. And later on, there was the first edition of the Drugs in Sports textbook, which is 1988. Now we have the 8th edition. In the, of course, it was done by the author, Dr. Mottram, David Mottram. Subsequently, after the Ben Johnson incident in 1988 Seoul Olympics. Okay, so is it only about anabolic steroids and stimulants? No. There was the Festina affair in 1998, taking the team found to have erythropoietin, anabolic steroids, syringes, and other controlled substance, which is make the other robust action in Lausanne Declaration on Doping in Sport in 1999, and the formation of the World Anti-Doping Agency. There was a control for a certain period of time, but of course, people are trying to get ways and use detours, and later on, the Lance Armstrong scandal was very clear. He went public with Oprah Winfrey and said about all of his doping strategies. He admits that he used everything: erythropoietin, testosterone, cortisone, human growth hormone, illegal blood transfusion, and other blood doping. It was really a catastrophic incident. Of course, this makes the US Anti-Doping Agency release more than 1,000 pages of the evidence in doping allegation against Armstrong. And then the charges against Armstrong are too common in the cycling world, that other athletes like Floyd Landis was stripped of his 2006 Tour de France title after failing a drug test. And of course, 80% of the Tour de France medals between 1996 and 2010 have been similarly tainted by doping, according to USADA. Okay, now we came back to the present, and we will adjust now for going to the future. The latest reports in Paris Olympics, the testing volume was 4,783 total tests. In competition was 3,176, and out of competition was 1,607. And pre-game testings was very huge, really. Most probably 90% of the athletes were tested pre-games. And 100% of the surfing and weightlifting were tested. We have only 6 anti-doping rule violations. The therapeutic use exemptions, the International Testing Agency appointed 4 physicians, okay, for evaluating the TUE applications, and the TUE committee approved 43 new therapeutic use exemptions during the game period, and 136 TUEs was issued by the anti-doping agencies. Total of 174 athletes, including 5 athletes with only TUE each, have a valid TUE during Paris 2024 Olympics, which is representing approximately 1.6% of all our participating athletes. The ITA released the statistics. Also, it's nearly the same, but because there is maybe some discrepancies between the reports, this is a published report, which is reflecting a very important thing, that we have a very huge number of testing, but what is the result? You can see by yourself. It's 5 anti-doping rule violations. This means that these elite athletes are so strictly liable, and they perform under a very huge, strict condition. But what about untested athletes and coaches and retired athletes and physically active people? What about them? They are not tested, right? So we have a report for the supplements, which is used in market. It's published in the New York Times, that there is 4 major market agencies. They are having a problem in their quality. And 4 out of 5 of the product did not contain any of the herbs on their label. So they found that there is other sheep fillers, powdered rice, asparagus, and house plants. So it was really another sentinel event, but for the one who are taking this unregulated. So this report have been done because of what had happening. There was a report of 23,000 emergency visits because of the adverse related dietary supplements, which is really a huge number. We cannot imagine that 23,000 cases because of the supplements are visiting the emergency. This is a very huge number. So, is all this about the doping and supplements? No. Athletes are humans. They can be sick. The athlete can be a patient. He can suffer of acute illness or chronic illness. So when the sports, let me tell you something. When we are in the normal condition and we have anyone in our family having a problem, they are going firstly to the pharmacist in the area, in the neighborhood, right? So it is the same. The sports pharmacist is the first line for the patient athlete. The patient athlete can come to the pharmacy. It's easily accessible. They can come to ask the sports pharmacist about the conditions that they are suffering. So we are not scoop creepers. We are not diagnosing. We are not doing anything out of our scope of service. The most important thing that we need to clarify to the other disciplines that we are doing our job. So the WHO released the medication without harm. This was a campaign done to know the medication, to check the patient, the medicine, the route, the dose, the time, and we need to ask the patient about his or her understanding. So unsafe medication practices and errors are the leading cause of injury, and we can avoid the harm. Of course, there is the harm, it will be reflected in money, but this is not about the money, it's about the health, the safety. We need to put our patients in the society and our athlete patients in a safe condition. So there is published medication error statistics, which is really surprising because, of course, there is athletes in this count. Of course, but they are not tested. They are not elite. They are national. They are competing only in the national level, so they are overlooked. So I have already my dramatic personal incident, which is not related to doping. I have many things, and I'm still suffering from the conditions that I have been encountered in my early competition phases and in my early teenager and even in my youth. I have a lot of incidents which is really needed an intervention, and I didn't find someone to intervene with me and direct me properly. So as an athlete support personnel, everyone's athletic entourage, they are supporting the athlete's journey. Coaches, trainers, medical staff, managers, and of course, the guardians. The responsibility range, but it's a multidisciplinary. We need to ensure the compliance for the anti-doping, of course, and all the other emotional and psychological support. The athletic supporting personnel, they are playing a very crucial and vital role for the athletes to fulfill their responsibility toward clean sport. The healthcare athlete support personnel, the athlete medical services, of course, from the beginning timeline, we will go back, we will go to the past again. We will go for 1881, the team physician, Dr. Hunt, accredited for the first team physician. And then in 1920, there was a team physiotherapist. Later on, there was a team psychologist, the father of the sports psychology, Coleman Griffiths, and then the team nutritionist. Okay, so where is the sports pharmacy? When does the sports pharmacy start to arise? All of this, we are speaking about drugs in sport, but what about sports pharmacy? In 1993, there was a clerkship in the University of Colorado. Then the father of the sports pharmacy, Dr. Peter Ambrose, started in the Atlanta Olympics as a doping control officer. Then Jeff Pardoza in the United States Anti-Doping Agency. Later on, in 2005, the International Pharmaceutical Federation acknowledged the role of the pharmacist in anti-doping. Later on, in 2009, sports pharmacist system in the Japanese Anti-Doping Agency. In 2012, in the London Olympics, there was a very robust pharmacy service. In 2017, there was the first sports pharmacy conference. 2019, the launch of the International Sports Pharmacist Network. 2025, the IOC Sports Pharmacy Diploma. So let us go for the timeline again. 1993, the sports pharmacy clerkship, they are starting to get the students to do the in-field interventions. Dr. Peter Ambrose, he was really the first known sports pharmacist to gain significant recognition worldwide. And this is his statement: sports pharmacists play a crucial role in advising athletes on safe medication use. First is the safe medication use, preventing unintentional doping violation and supporting overall health and performance. Their expertise is increasingly recognized as essential in the multidisciplinary approach to health athlete care. Jeff Bardoza, he started in the USADA in 2000, and then he started to get involved in the global DRO reference. The Federation, the International Pharmaceutical Federation, make a professional standard in 2005, which is transformed to guidelines in 2014. And you can remember, I have these two dates together also in the personal history. So it's really a very strange coincidence. So the most important thing to know in this guideline that we need to follow the same, the substance, the drug, the dose, the duration of treatment, and the diagnosis. This is very important to be specified. So we have a very important role when we are consulting the athletes. After that, the advanced pharmacy practice experience in 2008. Later on, the huge project of the Japanese Anti-Doping Agency, they want to make one sports pharmacist at any local pharmacy at any time, anywhere, preparing for the Tokyo Olympics. You see, they started 2009. You see how much they are proactive, and the WADA acknowledged that their work. So they have more than 7,000 pharmacists have been enrolled, and almost 3,000 pharmacists have received anti-doping instructions by the close of the last year, for 2014. And here, this in 2010, the Itsuko Kaminigashi, she started to speak about the athlete care and acknowledging the sports pharmacists on hands as athlete partners. So we have been inside the system. In the Olympic initiative in London 2012, the key leaders was Prof. David Mottram and Dr. Mark Stewart. Later on, they published the article in Aspitar Sports Medicine Journal 2013 for the emerging specialty of the sports pharmacy. Later on, in 2016, there was an article by Miguel Rose, how the pharmacists can get involved in sports pharmacy. And the Olympic initiative started to be more emphasized on how we can get involved inside by preparing the pharmacy guide for the Paralympic Games in Rio Olympics. And Dr. Mark Stewart, he published his role as a pharmacist at Rio 2016. In 2017, Dr. Manali Zidane in Aspitar, she organized the first sports pharmacy conference, and she was so emphasizing about the sports pharmacist role. And the conference was mainly speaking about the core of sports pharmacy, which is the sports pharmacotherapy, optimizing athlete care outcome and safety, advanced sports pharmacy practice, medication use management in sports, use of nutritional supplement and novel therapy, and at the end, relevant issues related to doping. In 2018, the release of the IOC certificate in drugs in sports. And the program directors was London Olympics leaders, Prof. David Mottram and Dr. Mark Stewart. Of course, the key player was Dr. Audrey Kenihan, which was a faculty member. And we have the first class sports pharmacy pioneer in 2019, Ashley Anderson, Somar Hilvati, and Sandy Ree. They are the 3 pharmacists. Of course, as IOC drugs in sports, anyone can attend. You can be a non-pharmacist to attend it. It's open for any specialty. A physiotherapist can take it, physician can take it, anyone. But those are the 3 pioneers, sports pharmacists in the IOC drugs in sports certificate. In 2019, Alison Hooper published the current and potential roles in sports pharmacy, which is CIMIC review with others. And we have the effective milestone by launching the first international sports pharmacist network by Ashley Anderson. And there is a re-innovative site which is contain a lot of educational materials and programs. And gained a lot of international engagement. You can see here the platform can explore. The Olympic consistency continued in 2020 by the Tokyo Olympics pharmacy guide, and also for the Paralympic Games. We have later the second class 2020. We have Mitchell, Howard, and Claire May, and Daniel Sanabria. And surprisingly, one outside the pharmacy, who is a Paralympic powerlifter, Ali Jawad from the United Kingdom Anti-Doping Organization, he declared in the social media that sports pharmacists can be the bridge between aspiring non-funded athletes and their journey to professional sports. Because non-funded athletes, they don't have this elite healthcare service. How they can manage their conditions? Okay, so he added that the inclusion of sports pharmacists could add another layer of protection for athletes and demonstrate more openness to flexibility when protecting athletes that are the most vulnerable. In USADA, Marina Suzuki, she published a complying case for sports pharmacy. And then at 2022, the International Pharmaceutical Federation acknowledged the International Sports Pharmacist Network. And there was a webinar for the global opportunities for the pharmacist in sports pharmacy settings. Later on, in the same year, Deborah Greenbaum, she published the Pharmacist Supporting Athletes as Scoping Review, Exploring the Knowledge and the Role and Responsibilities of the Pharmacy in Preventing the Unintentional Use of Prohibited Substance by Athletes. In 2023, the ISPN Sports Pharmacy Task Overview, they created this infographic to tell and direct the sports pharmacists how they can, where and how they can work in the clinical settings as a clinical sports pharmacist, dealing directly with the athletes, in the doping control, also in the academia, in the nutrition therapy, with the nutritionist or the dietitianist, the sports nutritionist or sports dietitianist, and in anti-doping awareness, and also in sporting services as a in the pharmacy services, like in the Olympic Village, and of course the laws and regulations, because each country has their own laws and regulations. So the sports pharmacists need to be careful about this laws and regulation. And finally, the veterinary sports pharmacy, because there is still the doping of animals. For the later on in 2023, the United States Sports Pharmacy Group was created. We have the former, now she is the former chair, Athena Cannon, and now the Mitchell is the chair, but he was the vice chair before, and Fail Ansari was the treasurer. And I have the luck to publish the first Arabic article about sports pharmacy. Later on, in Paris Olympics, the volunteering base of Somar Helvachi. In 2024 also, after the Olympic Games, Dr. Somar has a wonderful emerging presentation in the FIMS, the Fédération Internationale de Médecine du Sport, which is the 38th version, which is really was a very effective milestone. We have gathered together, and it was the sports pharmacists gathering in Dubai. Also, we have an Olympic volunteer consistency by Claire May, who later on in 2025, she launched the United Kingdom Sports Pharmacist Network. And we will finish with the International Sports Pharmacy Symposium, the ISPS, Pentology. It was started in 2021, 2022, 2023, 24, and 25. In Copenhagen, it was the first in-person symposium. And this was the biggest sports pharmacist gathering in 2025 in Copenhagen, Denmark. Later on, there was the first Aspitar World Congress in 2025, October. There was a dedicated section for sports pharmacy, and it was really very surprising, especially when I found that there is a statement written in the hall that our greatest glory is not in never falling, but rising every time we fall. I will tell you later on why it was very surprising for me. For now, sports pharmacy is spreading worldwide, and there are many more sports pharmacist pioneers, but they were not mentioned specifically here because of the time, because we are running out of time, but their contribution is recognized and acknowledged. So sports pharmacy is a broader scope. Sports is for all, not only for elite. So we need to distinguish between two things. What is the sports pharmacology and what is the sports pharmacotherapy? So simply, this is the knowledge and this is the application. We need to start to know the exercise physiology, sports pharmacokinetics, and sports pharmacodynamics, because the drug is affecting the athlete differently from the normal person. Anyone engaged in the physical activity, the drug pharmacology is changed. So in the pharmacotherapy, when we are going more deeper, we need to see the medication safety. So the pharmacovigilance, it's supposed to be for the sports also. And then we can go further for optimizing the supplementation, because they will, now all of the people are taking supplements. So, and by this cancellation, we can make the proper referral. Our therapeutic interventions must be evidence-based. So what are the resources? It must be credible and valid. So we have the basics for the WADA, the 8 international standards and the 13 guidelines. We have the IOC Health, Medicine, and Scientific Commission. We have the IP guidelines and the ISPN, Sports Pharmacy Integrity. Also, we have the federations and associations. All of this, the medical, for the sports medicine, we need to refer to them. We see them. And also the colleges and academias in the sports medicine, as well as the accredited publishers. And here is the acronyms for all of them: the International Federation of Sports Medicine, World Federation of Athletic Training and Therapy, European Federation of Sports Medicine Association, British Association of Sports and Exercise Medicine. Of course, the most important thing is the American Medical Society, American College of Sports Medicine, and the American Medical Society for Sports Medicine. It's very important. These two, they are so active. Of course, we have the Canadian Academy of the Sports and Exercise Medicine. We have the Australian College of Sports and Exercise Physicians, American Journal for Sports Medicine, British Journal for Sports Medicine Australia, and Journals of Science and Medicine in Sports. So the sports pharmacist therapeutic intervention. Why we are the one to do it? Because we are the medication experts. We are the first line healthcare support. We can give the guidance for the proper decision, and we can refer according to the primary assessment. I know that we are running out of time, so excuse me, I will be fast. Sports pharmacist therapeutic intervention, what are they? Firstly, in the anti-doping education and awareness, we are just spreading awareness and educating. Of course, we can help in the therapeutic use exemption processing, but the main course of our scope of service is the medication management and reconciliation, because...
Hey.
Say yes. Anything? Okay, so optimal and safe supplements administration and proper clinical pharmacy consultation and referral. Sports pharmacist intervention, who will be the one to get our service? Firstly, the elderly. I put the elderly in the first category.
Hey.
Yes. 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 Anything? Any problem?
I think someone unmuted by mistake.
Okay, because I cannot see the...
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so we have the elderly, special needs, female athletes, cadets, juniors and seniors, elite and professional athletes, retired elite athletes, masters and veterans. Where can we do our interventions? In the field of play, fitness centers, national clubs, National Sports Federation, National Olympic Committees, National Anti-Doping agencies, and also in the pharmacy setting and clinic, also in the hospital setting, because the athletes can be admitted. The sports pharmacists have the expertise in the medication. So, and the clinical sports pharmacist is the specialized pharmacist who focus on the therapeutic needs by the consultation in person. What is the current situation now? We have the athlete supporting personnel. We have the National Olympic Committees. We have the Olympic training centers. We have the National Federation. We have sports physicians, sports physiotherapists, sports nutritionists and dietitians, technical directors for the sport, coaches and instructors, and supporting service. So where is the sports pharmacist? We have a gap. This gap must be filled. In clinical practice, we are the one to advise the athletes on safe and effective and permissible use of drugs in sport as a first line. And also, we can advise physically active people on the sports and exercise of safe use of medicine and supplements. Proper referrals is very important because we are not, as I said, we are not a scope creepers. We will not diagnose. We will refer if the situation is not under our scope of service. By analyzing this gap, we play a crucial role in the athletic community. We are closing the loop. We are the one who is making the bridge between all of this athletic entourage. So we have a continuous and endless debate, which is the study versus the profession. We have the theory, we have the practice, how we can be perfectionist, and in the same time, we are compromising. We need to understand the concepts and principles, but we need to implement in reality. Research is important, but also the experimentation with the athlete is important. In the theory, we can establish new theories and advancing existing one, but in practice, we need to solve the real world problem. We can, of course, develop in the theory many things, and many other discussions can be done, but it's reaching decades. But in the practice, we need to immediately apply and solve the problem immediately. So this is a prospective approach as a clinical sports pharmacist, and we have a perspective which is the athlete safety first. We have a criteria, and we have a proactive approach and reactive approach. Accordingly, we will decide where to intervene. We have now to move for the next level. As any other specialty, there is subspecialty. So we need to check where we can intervene properly. We need to have sports-specific sports pharmacists according to the sport, because the sports pharmacists intervening in the wrestling is different for the sports pharmacist intervening for the swimmers. It's two different exercise physiology backgrounds. Okay, it's very important to know that. And also the female athletes need a female sports pharmacist because they know what is happening with them in all of their OB-GYN. And also the Paralympic and special needs sports pharmacists. It's a subspecialty. And for my beloved, the geriatric sports pharmacist, because it's coping with the WHO vision. And here is what I did. So I proved to the community that the sports pharmacist is not about doping. We can intervene with the Safe Falling program, which is launched by the Tokai University and University of Hertfordshire for older adults. And that's why we need to know how a sports pharmacist can intervene with this category. The most important thing in this abstract is the deprescribing and dose adjustment for the older adults who are enrolled in the program. So the final question, how to start? Now we need to know, after all of this information, we need to know how I will start. I want you to check the human factor engineering to analyze yourself as a pharmacist, and then build your sports pharmacy network, engage with all the sports pharmacists that they are available on the social media, and then convey your needs as a sports pharmacist. Later on, define your ultimate goal in the sports pharmacy and take care of the colors, because this is how you will analyze yourself. You need to know you are which color. You are a driver, you are expressive, you are amiable, you are analytical, because without knowing yourself and what is your potential, you cannot direct yourself for the proper pathway. So how to start? Engage with the events. Feel what the athletes feel. You need to be athlete yourself, because you need to suffer. You need to know how they are suffering, because without knowing what they are suffering, you will not know how to intervene properly with them. I have here a very important thing. This is our judo legend, Yashihiro Yamashita. He is 68 years old. He is a Olympic Los Angeles 1984 Olympic champion. He was a legend he was and still a legend in judo. He has fell down on his head, back of the head, and he have been paralyzed for 2 years. And I want you to watch this. It's in Japanese, but you will understand the thing. リトルのヘラツのいたたち、一陣がソルの何各式すべて。イキョルフィージョは核の分のが断のパンでて、その歩みはすでに変わり始めていた。頂点に立った日、人はまだ何も知らない。強さは静かににじみ出る。
網の外にも道は続く。その後の記憶は語られることがなかった。その瞬間、時間が途切れた。生きているとは当たり前ではない。立てなくなったとき、老いが生まれる。保湿をこまつめた。左足の状態について、今のお気持ちを教えてください。
まだ痛みはありますが、前に進むしかないと思っています。支えてくれる人たちのためにも、できることを一つずつやっていきます。
手を負う覚悟は。
After this interview, it was really a very important message for the whole world that it's that if you are a retired athlete, you need to have a very elite care. So let us go for the foundation, how to start the basic knowledge. You have the USADA anti-doping course for health professionals. You have the Clean Sport Hub for the United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency. You have the Sports Integrity Australia launching a sports pharmacy e-learning course. You have also the International Testing Agency monthly free webinars and International Federation courses. And of course, WADA, they launched the anti-doping education and learning platform, ADEL, which is free. You can access your courses, and also you can access any course you need. Of course, there is many more national and international initiatives, but not mentioned here because of the time. You can top up your anti-doping program by going for the ITA sports educator program, and also you have the International Doping Control Officer and the chaperone, and also for the research. Also, you can get the drugs in sports certificate from the IOC. But we have sports pharmacy dedicated courses and programs because this is the pharmacist area of expertise. We have the University of Oslo. We have also the Anadolu University, sports pharmacy. We have Lokman Hakim University, of course, in Turkey. This is in Turkish language only. And we have West Coast University for the sports pharmacy program. Latestly, there is University of Bath, and also there is other national initiatives are spreading worldwide, but not mentioned here. And finally, we have the Executive Sports Pharmacy Certificate, which is the first broader scope of service in University of South California, Alfred E. Mann School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical. It's 4 top-level courses. You can finish it through 1 year. And finally, we have the recognition of the International Federation, International Pharmaceutical Federation, and the International Olympic Committee for the Comprehensive Sports Pharmacy Diploma. If you go for the IOC certificate, you will find that you have the IOC certificate in drugs in sports and an IOC diploma in sports pharmacy. And of course, it was taking the approval and the FIP seal. It was approved on May 15th, 2025. And this is how to enroll in the IOC diploma in sports pharmacy. And here is the program directors, Dr. Mark Stewart and Dr. Trudy Thomas with the Academic Advisory Board. And my last message to you, you need to be unique. And the specialization is your key for success. If you focus on the direction that you will succeed in, and get your highest level, you will have unparalleled success. You need to be competent so you can practice and be efficient to maximize the efficacy of sports pharmacist role worldwide. We have a dream to make the International Pharmaceutical Sports Pharmacy Federation, which is the Fédération Internationale de Pharmacie du Sport. This is a big dream, and we can make it. Who can make it? You can make it, because you are the grassroots leadership. You need to make the specialty sustainable. Without you, we will not reach and fulfill our dream. We now fly to Los Angeles Olympics 2028. I hope to see you there. Any questions? I am happy to answer. You can send me through the email. You can check with the Judo RX Facebook and also on LinkedIn. And if you have any question, I am happily to answer. We are extended 10 minutes more, but I am happily to answer any question you want. And this is my references. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Abdelmonaim. That was an amazing presentation, and you can see how the crowd number has really increased, and also a lot of appreciations. Colleagues, may we take the next minute maybe to appreciate Dr. Abdelmonaim. It was an amazing presentation. He took us from past history to the upcoming Olympics of is it Los Angeles you mentioned, yeah?
Yes, Los Angeles. Actually, it's a very strange thing that the Los Angeles Olympics 1984, so it's 40 years ago.
Wow.
So you see, so we are 14 years ago, we are in the Los Angeles also. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing journey. And I am having a vision that we will be there in Los Angeles Olympic as a sports pharmacist. We need to be there. Exactly,
yeah. And I'm seeing some comments from Dr. Emily, and it's just the same thought and some of the points she's mentioning. If you just read the chat,
yes,
I think she's alluding to the few number of certified sport pharmacists globally.
Yeah, I will read the comments.
Please
okay,
read.
I'm recording this meeting. Okay.
And most of certified sport pharmacists are in Japan. That is what she's saying.
Japan was really doing a great job. When I traveled to the second international safe falling conference, if you go to any pharmacy, you will find the pharmacist. He is a sports pharmacist, or she is a sports pharmacist. You can imagine. They know.
And very interesting question I saw from Isaac. I understand what Isaac is saying about whether there is a job offer or job positions. You see, but I was in the technical committee with this here local, the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, where we're developing the good pharmacy practice guideline. And we have really appreciated and recognized that sport pharmacy is one big area of specialty. And now, even we have indicated like a guide or an area of practice for sport pharmacists. So we expect that guideline to be launched maybe in the new year. Isaac, you'll be able to see that. And I hope after that, we'll be looking into some job adverts indicating or looking for sport pharmacists. And imagine this region. This is a region of all the world record athletes, Kenya, Ethiopia, you see, and the whole of East Africa. And if you go to again South Africa, so Africa is a beacon sport, and then I think this area is quite an unmet need. I think that is, maybe you can reflect on some of the comments, Abdelmonaim.
Yes, I want to speak about Africa because I have a very important thing to be done. When I involved with the Courage, with the International Courage Association, there was a lot of people, they don't know about sports pharmacists, and there is a lot of sports pharmacists in Africa. I didn't mention, of course, because of the time, but there is a lot of sports pharmacists in Africa. So why we don't have an African sports pharmacist network like the UK, right? All of this, like in Japan, I see a lot of counts now in the AI answers. So why there is no African sports pharmacist network, right? We need to do that. We need to have this network. We need to collect all of the sports pharmacists in Africa and make a regional network like the UK, like the US. The US is how many states? 52 states, right?
Yeah.
So we need to do it. We have the potential. We can do it. It's all about being united. We need to be united. That's all. So here I'm trying to see the comments because I was on the full screen. Let me see. Approximately 12,800. Okay, from Japan alone. Oh, you see, yeah. This is what I saw when I traveled to Japan. I was just walking and entering any pharmacy, and I'm asking them, what do you expect is the first questions that they're asking me? What do you expect? Anyone can expect the questions they are asking me? Anyone can write in the comment what was the first question the pharmacist is asking me for the when he saw me. He was a male pharmacist. When I entered the pharmacy and I asking for a medication, I want to get a medication because I forgot to get it with my backpack. The first question he asked me. Anyone can write in the comment. It's not a question. Yes, right, Lauren. Right, bingo. He asked me, "Are you an athlete?" I said to him, "Yes, I'm a judoka. I'm a judo coach." So the next question, what do you expect? He asked me. Okay, let me answer this question. So I know that we can discuss for half an hour more. He asked me, are you subjected to doping control? You see, so they are really very effective, but all in Japanese. Yeah, he was actually, I did all of this by the Google Translate. I know some Japanese words from judo, but we are communicating with the Google Translate. It was really a good experience, and I was surprised that they are very well knowledgeable about sports pharmacy. But actually, what I want to emphasize on, we have a huge competition in the doping area, right? In the anti-doping area and anti-doping positions. We need to be unique, right? We need to be unique. So when we go for our area of expertise, no one can compete with us. Okay, I found a question here which is very important. Can one be a sports pharmacist without being directly involved in a sports activity? You can, of course, but it's when we are speaking about sports pharmacists, we are speaking about the whole 8 tasks that the International Sports Pharmacist Network published. But to be a clinical sports pharmacist, this is the area that you need to be very well understanding how the athlete is thinking, because I am always telling this example in the presentation. Imagine with me a visually impaired athlete. Okay, he born visually impaired. He have an impairment in the sight. So he can't see. He was born like that. When you will tell him this pill is green or red, he don't know what is the meaning of red and green, because he don't have the experience of colors. You got my point? So it's very important to know what the athlete is suffering from. You need to have the experience by yourself. Let me tell you something. I am giving you this presentation and I have a herniated disc. Okay? So I know what is the herniated disc symptoms, and I know the feeling of the numbness. I know the feeling of how when it reaches your toe. I know this. I know the symptoms. So I am treating myself because I'm a sports pharmacist. But what about the others who don't know? You can go for the social media, you can ask your AI, and you can get a lot of exercises and a lot of interventions. But what is the proper intervention for me as an athlete? Athlete having a herniated disc L4 and L5, L5 and S1. What is the proper exercise for me? What is the proper medication for me and in my age? Who will tell that? This is the sports pharmacist role, who knows about what is the athlete suffering. And I put for you the video of our legend, judo legend, because actually he has about 10 sports pharmacists with him. Can you imagine? So this is really a great way to think about. We are more broader than anti-doping and therapeutic use exemptions. Let me read, not to overlook all the questions. I will try to. This is most of the statistics. Okay, 12,000, and then are there official positions not in the way traditional pharmacy jobs are counted? There is no formal global job designed for sports pharmacists. Okay, actually there was one posted before in USC Man, because it was not vacant before. It was Dr. Michael Kessler is the one who is filling it before, and then there is now a new comer filling this position as a sports pharmacist in USC Man. But for me, I have a dream, and I hope that all of us get in this dream. We need to have a sports pharmacist in each discipline, in each federation, in each club, in each team, everywhere. We need to have this. We need to have this vision. How I will create this vision? By myself. I am the sports pharmacist who will be creating the need in my area. When you are determined to go for this pathway, you will know how to go and you will reach your goal. Check the stakeholders, go for the right decision makers, present your potentiality and your credibility, you will get it. You need to start. We will not fulfill the dream unless there is a power grassroots. Okay. Jada, of course. Okay. 200 specialty in the IOC drugs. Oh, yes, there is actually in the drugs in sports. We have about 266, yes, graduated, but this is not all pharmacists. There are many other non-pharmacists in the drugs in sports. Drugs in sport is opened, as I said, for anyone in the athletic entourage. So like in the IOC prescribing certificate, this one is only for physicians, and the sports pharmacy diploma is only for pharmacists. The bottom line, if you count every pharmacist who have taken a formal certification course, 13,000 globally, but over 95 of them are in Japan. Okay. International Olympic Committee certificate in drugs in sport, a recognized program. Okay. Over 100 pharmacists. Okay. Same in Japan. Same 6,000. Okay. As per your calendar, learn more about. Okay. Okay. Kindly shares. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Shaima. Thank you, sir. I have done with a few courses. I am a clinical and retail pharmacist in my country. Great. So you can start, Mr. Ahmed, to implement the knowledge that you get it from the courses, and keep on educating yourself. Don't stop. Martin, is the certification courses only meant for degree holders, or those include pharmaceutical technologists? Actually, all of the previous one till the IOC sports pharmacy diploma and in the colleges and faculty, they are all open for anyone. You can enroll, and anyone can enroll. I want to ask how to excel my career further in sports pharmacy. Mr. Ahmed, you can excel your career further to check in the community where is the place, or where is this sports discipline which is really in need, the one to close the gap, because we have a lot of incidents happening worldwide in many countries for the athletes, and of course, you know, you can see the social media what's happening. You can get this. You will identify it first. When you identify, you will know exactly what to be done, and of course, I will be here to help you. Ines, thank you very much. Thank you, Ines. I wish that sports pharmacists were available in all your plans. Okay, thank you. Shaima, thank you for your slides. Thank you, Shaima. Whether they would ask whether, yeah, this is the question. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Clara. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Zaki. Okay, Riham. Athletes, pharmacists had role in Paralympic Games. Yes, of course. They have. And the Paralympic Games, actually, we have a lot of interventions to be done, because most properly they are on medication. So they have higher TUEs, and they have higher incident of risks. They need tailored supplement courses. So of course, the Paralympic Games, but in my point of view, the sports pharmacist who will be specialized in the Paralympic athletes, they need to be very well competent to know and manage the case, because it's a very hard case. It's not easy case, and they need a lot of what you call this, many details, because it's not only about take or not take. It's about how you will be effective in a right time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now it's 9:30. Sir, I'm from Pakistan, and there is a no sports pharmacy network, and I have to look in abroad. Yes, you need to start your network. You must actually start your network. Okay, it's 9:30 now. Thank you all for attending. I am so happy to give this presentation, and I am really appreciate the opportunity to have you all together today. This will be for me, it will be the nucleus of the African Sports Pharmacist Network. Let me see the African Sports Pharmacist Network in the near future, please. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Abdelmonaim. Very true. Whatever we are doing now will be part of the small block to build that big network. I believe we can all put our fingers crossed,
Yes.
our hands tied together, our brains working together. I believe we can make a big impact. Quite a number of athletes are really struggling with, this doping and anti-doping things. Yeah.
Yes.
In the next webinars, I know we'll be talking specifically about therapeutic use exemptions. What are those doping chemicals? Why are some of the drugs or the chemicals are banned? What is the scientific rationale? So that everyone will be on the know. I believe in all those discussions, Abdelmonaim will be with us. I believe that.
Yeah, I will be happy.
Excellent. And thank you very much. Thank you all our participants who joined this session. It means a lot. Check out our social media page. You can check on LinkedIn. Kindly follow also Abdelmonaim on his LinkedIn. He usually shares quite insightful information on this space. You can also follow my page on LinkedIn, as I share some insightful upcoming trainings, and also AGLS page. I need to say thank you, and we'll have another webinar very soon. Yeah, it is on 23rd of January. You can check it also on the WhatsApp group. We have created a sport pharmacy interests group, which slowly that can grow to the network which Dr. was talking about. So if you have registered to this webinar on our learning platform, you will see the link to that WhatsApp group so that you can join that WhatsApp group. And in case, I'm also dropping the link of that sport pharmacy interests group right now here. You can check it in the chat so that you can join, and then we can have more discussions. And it's just a network. We need really to learn more. There's a growing space, especially in this era. Most countries are really struggling on jobs, especially for health professionals. But you have seen from the presentation that sport pharmacy is untapped area, is a big area of practice where most of you, especially the young ones, if you are really interested, this is an area where you can specialize, where you can train, where you can educate yourself. And as Abdelmonaim was saying, you can start from your locality, from where you are practicing. And so in such a way, you can really make an impact. I've dropped the link in the chat. You can click that chat and you can join that WhatsApp community. If you have an interest in sport pharmacy, we will be sharing more updates. As I told you, in January, we have one on 23rd. Again, in February, we'll have another one. And from all those conversations, and again, we'll see what is the best for those interested ones, for those especially in sport. I know I had one of my students, I don't know if Chris is here, Dr. Chris. I've not seen him. Maybe he had joined. So he's he likes cycling, and he's an amazing athlete. And when he was my student for 5 years, he had all those many questions with regard to sport medicine and others. So many of you, like Chris, would be in sport, and I think that is your right niche. If you are an athlete, if you are in sport, in judo, in whatever, I think this is a time. Also, I have another student called Haji. I don't know if Haji is here. Haji, are you there? So he's also an athlete with some kind of international competition experience. So we're trying to help those ones to specialize even further, to do and advanced education and training. Yeah. So because of time, we can just stop the session here. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a very blessed and enjoyable evening and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Abdelmonaim, thank you.
Happy holiday. See you.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.